I'm going to show you how to make an interactive slide where the students can't edit our backgrounds. Right now, this background is editable, and that means that my student could delete the text or mess around with it or do anything like that. And I want to avoid that. So what I'm going to do is actually quite simple. Once I've decided that my background is the way I want, I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to Download, and I'm going to tell it to download the PNG image, which is the current slide. Once I've done that, I can actually just get rid of all this. And I'm going to go to Slide, change the background, and I'm going to set it as the image that I just downloaded. Now, my student can't edit this background or the boxes because it's part of a background. The next thing I want to do is I want to insert some images that my students can sort. This sorting activity can be used in many, many different ways. You could ask students to sort by sounds, by syllables, by math equations. You could ask them to sort all kinds of things, organic and inorganic substances. I'm going to populate this with some images in just a moment. Ideally, you would probably want to have a separate box where you could put these images or words. But for now, just for our purposes, I've populated this with 4 pictures. So the student can very easily click and select. So this is petroleum oil, which is a non-renewable source, as is coal. Then we've got solar energy and wind energy over here. So the students are very easily able to manipulate the images, but they are not able to manipulate the background. And that will remove some sources of error for students. I'll show you another example this way. In this example, the student is being asked to sort adverbs versus adjectives. I'm going to do the same thing because right now my student can mess with my background. I'm going to click File, Download, and again, ask it only to download the current slide because I don't need it to download the previous one. Once I've done that, I can get rid of this. And I'm going to go to Slide, change the background, choose the image, and select the image that I just downloaded. And now again, my student cannot alter the background in any way. So here's one of the issues with doing this with words. What I can do is I can insert a text box, put a word in here such as happy, put it in the word bank. But the problem, as you can see, is that the students can edit it, and that does become a little bit of an issue. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a shape by going to Insert and Shape, and you can pick any shape, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to pick a rectangle because it's the easiest. And I'm going to put the word in there. And just for fun, I'm going to change the color to make it blue, just for fun. And then I can copy and paste the shape as many times as I like. Of course, I'll need new words. So joyfully. Now that I've created some words, I can have my students move them into the appropriate boxes. You will notice that the students could still edit these words, but it's an extra step for them and it does protect it a little bit. If you really wanted to, what you could do is you could take screenshots of these words individually, creating them to be images, and then you could put those images in the slides so that the students couldn't manipulate them. Keep in mind that is a very tedious thing, and so it's not what I recommend, especially if you're doing this with a lot of different activities. But that's how you make an interactive slide. A couple of other things to note. If the student does not have editing privilege of your slide, then they will not be able to move these pieces around at all. They'll only be able to look at it. So you do need to make sure that they have editing privileges. There's a nice extension called Full Screen Interactive Google Slides that allows you to still manipulate images within a slide even when you're in present mode. and you might be in present mode either for a virtual meeting or just on your smartboard in the classroom. And that will allow you to continue to do that. It's a free extension, and it will let you manipulate the images.